An artist vanishes inside their own myth, then returns looking and sounding nothing like before. In 2026, Lana Del Rey will abandon old glamour for dusty highways and raw Americana, igniting theories of industry, makeovers, and secret control. Suddenly, every move, every new sound, every change in her body and her rivalries become a public battleground. Is this the work of hidden hands, or the latest move in Lana's master plan? The answer starts where her story changes forever. Lana Del Rey's new era does not arrive quietly. In late January 2026, her 10th studio album, now titled Stove, will be released. Its name is the third in a series of public pivots that began almost 2 years earlier. The project started as Lasso in 2024, then became The Right Person Will Stay, each title change announced by Lana herself, each delay attributed to her own decisions, not label directives. The most recent postponement comes after she added 6 new tracks, which she describes as more autobiographical than she expected, and she explains in interviews that the extra time was needed to get them right. This country-leaning album is built on years of intention. Lana has said she wanted to make a country record 8 years ago, long before the genre's current pop crossover. She works closely with Nashville producer Luke Laird and longtime collaborator Jack Antonoff, shaping a sound that leans into Western and Americana influences. The visual language is unmistakable. Highways stretching through empty deserts, motel signs flickering at dusk, faded denim, bluebirds, and a sense of searching solitude. These motifs appear in teasers, singles, and live performances, especially her 2025 Stagecoach set, where she takes that aesthetic from concept to reality. Every step of the process points back to Lana's authorship. She jokes with fans about missed deadlines and shifting visions, but her control is never in doubt. The album's expansion, the evolving visuals, and the shift in tone all come from her, not from a marketing team or a trend forecast. In this reset, Lana is not being guided. She is guiding the project herself, reimagining what her music can be and how her story gets told. A single tweet can turn an overlap into a rivalry. As Lana Del Rey's country era gains steam, the name Ethel Cain starts cropping up everywhere, in fan threads, TikTok edits, and think pieces dissecting the new sound of Americana. Ethel Cain, born Hayden Anhedonia, released her own vision of haunted highways and church bell heartbreak with Preacher's Daughter in 2022. Her world is Southern Gothic, Bible Belt, and raw, but the echoes with Lana's new material are impossible to ignore. It does not take much for the internet to draw battle lines. Fans post side-by-side images, Lana in a lace dress on a desert road, Ethel in white staring down a country chapel. Threads spiral, debating who truly captures the soul of America, Lana's cinematic nostalgia or Ethel's brutal realism. When Ethel likes a post critiquing the comparisons and then quietly unlikes it, screenshots start circulating. Deleted captions and cryptic emojis only add fuel. The smallest interaction is dissected for meaning, each silence read as a statement. Media outlets amplify the tension, framing it as a generational standoff, the established icon versus the prophet of a new wounded America. Headlines question whether Lana is guarding her territory or if Ethel is here to claim it. For weeks, both artists stay quiet, and the narrative takes on a life of its own. The rivalry is not about direct attacks. It is about who gets to define the sound of a country in crisis. Beneath the surface, a deeper question simmers. Is this feud organic, or is the industry fanning the flames for attention? Tabloids have long treated Lana Del Rey's body as a battleground for control. Between 2019 and 2023, paparazzi photos and headlines tracked every fluctuation in her weight, turning each new image into a story about her state of mind. As her public appearances grew less frequent, speculation about her health only intensified. By 2024, with her country-inspired transformation underway, the commentary reached a fever pitch. Outlets ran side-by-side comparisons of her heavier looks from the Norman fucking Rockwell era against her visibly slimmer frame at Stagecoach and in album teasers, inviting readers to guess at the reasons behind the change. Social media joined in, with TikTok and Reddit threads dissecting her appearance and inventing a term called the JoJo effect, a nod to the old idea of yo-yo dieting now attached to Lana's cycles of weight gain and loss. Fans and critics debated whether her transformation was a sign of personal agency or the result of industry pressure. Some claimed her weight loss was a prerequisite for the new era, a signal that she was once again marketable. Others saw it as a rebellion, a refusal to let her body be the story. Through it all, Lana herself stayed mostly silent. She rarely addressed the coverage, letting others argue over her image while she focused on her music. The media's fixation on her body became less about health and more about control, using her appearance as proof of either chaos or discipline, instability or power. In this cycle, her body was not just her own, it became a canvas for narratives she never chose, a symbol of a larger struggle over who gets to define a woman's story in public. TikTok's endless scroll is saturated with Lana Del Rey's world, whether or not users ever type the phrase #LanaCore. Teenagers in thrift store slips film themselves against faded motel walls. Strangers in Nebraska and Berlin post grainy highway montages set to her voice. The same blue-gray filters, the same melancholic Americana, the same longing for a past that never quite existed. These images multiply, remix, and return in infinite loops. Lana's old tracks, once background for Tumblr confessionals, now soundtrack everything from makeup tutorials to breakup diaries. Each viral edit sends her catalog climbing again. Spotify's top charts fill with songs first released a decade ago. The numbers are staggering, billions of streams, millions of TikTok uses, all without a single coordinated campaign. Fans call it LanaCore, a mood more than a movement, a shorthand for sadness, glamour, and nostalgia. In this new mythology, the audience becomes the author, building an entire aesthetic ecosystem where Lana is both muse and cipher, present and strangely untouchable. Henry, Come On arrives in the summer of 2025, not as a polished radio single, but as something raw, almost unfinished. The production is pared down to the essentials, a few acoustic chords, Lana's voice, front and center, the mix leaving space for every breath and hesitation. There is no sweeping arrangement, no cinematic build, just the sound of someone reaching for honesty. Fans latch onto the lyrics, which drift between pleading and resignation, reading them as a conversation with a lover or with the world itself. Online, listeners call it a line in the sand, a refusal to play by the rules of pop reinvention and algorithm-friendly hooks. Instead, the song feels like a personal dispatch, delivered with the kind of vulnerability that cannot be manufactured. Lana jokes in an Instagram video about the constant delays, about changing her mind and the album's name, but her grip on the process is unmistakable. Henry, Come On is not a label's idea of a comeback. It is a quiet act of rebellion, proof that she is still steering her own story, even as the world tries to write it for her. Old rumors never quite disappear. As Lana Del Rey's Americana era takes over headlines and timelines, the language of her earliest critics begins to echo across social media. The term industry plant resurfaces, first whispered in 2011, now trending again, almost word for word. Threads dissect her rise, pointing back to the days when blogs accused her of being manufactured. A rebranded indie singer with a major label deal, a wealthy father behind the scenes, a persona too polished to be real. The accusations sound familiar. She is not authentic. She is a product. Her image is a marketing strategy. Even her shifting sound and self-mythologizing are framed as evidence, proof some claim, that she is following a playbook written by someone else. But the facts complicate things. Lana's catalog is filled with her own fingerprints, writing credits, visual direction, public refusals to chase radio trends. Still, the narrative persists. Is she shaping her world, or is she being shaped by forces she cannot control? The tension between artist and authenticity and fabrication hangs heavier than ever. Right now, Lana Del Rey stands at the center of a culture obsessed with authorship and illusion. As fans and critics debate who controls her story, the real power lies in what remains unknowable. In pop's age of transparency, mystery is the last form of rebellion. Drop your thoughts below.